Hey, 26th of January again, and this time we'll be spectating Jessabelle. She's playing Farah. It's pretty Gucci, but you know, the game obviously hasn't started yet, so I can't really do much. Okay, where's Jessabelle? Where's Jessabelle? Okay, team comp, Lucio Anna is fine. I still don't like defense Farah. Just asking.
System check initiated. Green across the board. I'm ready for action.
Okay, usually you don't really want to stand here. You kind of want to stand over at the building, like to the right. It's kind of difficult to show. Where the Genji and the D.Va is at the moment. You don't really want to stand here because the enemies kind of expect you, and it's pretty hard to hit these long-range shots. Look, like she's not really hitting that much. I mean, she basically hit 2 shots out of like 8. Don't shoot into the deflecting Genji. I mean, right now she's playing against double hit scan and she's super aggressive. Soldier was out of position, but the enemy McCree should have just punished her. Obviously, she shouldn't shoot herself. I mean, again, she should just go to the building to the right. The thing is, when she's on the building on the right, the enemies can't really deal with her. Whereas from here, you know, it's different. Like, the enemies are just free pushing right now, even though, you know, they really shouldn't. Okay, that's fine. It's pretty hard to miss those shots. Ooh, okay, good. She should have just gone for the direct hit. I'm not quite sure why she knocked him away. Yeah, focus the soldier, that's fine. Yeah, she really needs to go for the direct hits. Yeah, this is the problem when you play against double hit scan. She really didn't contest the first choke at all. She should have just sticked on the building, like the center building on the first part of Street's phase. Got her ultimate up, and then she could have defended this from behind. You never want to be in the line of sight of the enemies. Also, Farah is a really, really bad pick right now. Look, the only reason you would like to play Farah at the moment is when the enemies run a triple or a quad tank comp. Mainly because tanks can't deal with Farah. But if you look at the enemy team comp, the enemies don't have a Farah, so I'm not sure why you're playing... Like, they don't have any tanks, so I'm not sure why you're playing Farah. Also, you really didn't have to drop down from the high ground in order to get the Mercy, so again, it's just unnecessary risk that you really didn't have to take. I mean, you can just kill him. Wait until deflect runs out. Nice, there we go. Okay, so she has control of the... I don't know why she's... Okay. She has... Again, like, why is she going down? She has control of the payload. So, when you play against the very DPS heavy comp and you play Farah, you can't be as aggressive as you are right now. I mean, if we look at the enemy team comp... I'm recording. Yes, I'm recording. Okay. If we look at the... enemy team comp, we can see McCree can own her, Soldier can own her, even Sombra if she gets close enough, to be honest. Look, she's just making herself such an easy target. I mean, that was a pretty nice dodge, but she's so incredibly pressured, it really sucks for her. Again, don't use your ultimate, you really don't have to. And maybe no, you should use your ultimate. Use your ultimate? Okay, maybe not. I guess your team is kind of doing stuff, so it's working out, but now she's just going to die and the enemies are probably going to push for free. Yeah, she really should have just used her ultimate. Who's still contesting? I think Zarya is. Yeah, but now they're pushing. So, what I mentioned earlier regarding like the forced ultimates, An ultimate isn't forced if you're actually getting something out of it. And right there, not using the ultimate means that the enemies are pushing for free. And using the ultimate means they're not pushing for free. So, you know, that was a pretty clear call. Like, right there again, before she got hooked, she should have just used her ultimate. But then again, her team is kind of taking care of stuff. I don't know why the enemy switched to a Roadhog from McCree. I mean, it's like the healthier decision for the team comp, but it's the worst decision against a Pharah. But then again, you know, you aren't really doing that much. To be honest, your Pharah is doing most of what's going on in this game. Let me check. Yeah, it's basically all Zarya so far. I mean, maybe Hanzo, but it's mainly Zarya. Again, like, right now the enemies aren't really doing anything. You don't have to force anything. Just go into the church and, you know, try to get a pick if you can. But don't give the enemy supports full charge for no reason. Yeah, that's good. I mean, Hanzo is once again winning you the fight. Just go for direct hits. Stop shooting at their feet. You're not, like, look, you're not dealing any damage. He's full HP. You could have just two-shotted him with direct hits. Like, it's one thing to not hit direct hits, but I just saw that you were going for the feet. And especially against a soldier who can, you know, deal with sustained damage, you just don't want to do this. Again, right now, stop shooting at the enemies. You have your ultimate already. Like, you're just giving them ult charge. Just don't. Stay on the church. See, if you just stood in the church, then you maybe could have actually done something. But right there in that entire fight, you didn't deal a single point of damage. You dealt a little bit of damage before, which, you know, gave their supports ult charge. But you still haven't used your ultimate. Like, you have your ultimate since they got the first checkpoint. And it's like, what, 3 minutes later? And you still haven't used it? The thing is, you may think, oh, I didn't have to use my ultimate because someone else used theirs and, you know, we won the fight. But that's the wrong approach. The thing is, maybe they had to use their ultimate because they, you know, it was forced. So, you know, they could have used their ultimate in an opportunity where yours simply wouldn't be enough. Also, that's like way too aggressive. Where it simply wouldn't have been enough. But because you didn't use yours, which would have been a perfect fit, they were forced to use theirs. Also, Genji is going to deflect you. Maybe? Okay. You probably could have killed him. But yeah, then again, the enemies aren't really doing anything. Okay, it's good that you didn't use your ultimate there. Like, it was basically defended anyways. Yeah, get the soldier. Yeah, that's good. But again, like, the most damage is coming from your team. Like, they're not having nearly as much of an impact as you could have. Again, you have your ultimate already. Don't shoot at these long ranges. Only shoot if you're actually going to kill something. And, you know, shooting in there, you're not going to kill anything. You should just be closer and actually try to do something with your ultimate. Like, you still haven't used your ultimate at all. I mean, okay, that's fine. You should probably just go... Like, why aren't you going for the Mercy? That's way too late. You could have killed the Mercy already. Don't use your ultimate? No? You really don't... Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, you should have just killed the Mercy earlier. Like, you were focusing the Sombra for way too long. And, you know, Mercy just got so much ult out of it. Okay, now you're being aggressive. I mean, you used your ultimate, but you really didn't have to. If you had just killed the Mercy, then, you know, there's no way that Sombra could have won that duel against you. Oh, this one is actually kind of long, so I'll start repeating myself now. Sombra's behind you. Deal with the Sombra. You're completely ignoring the Sombra. Again, okay, now it's fine that you're shooting there because you actually need ult charge. Don't face the soldier. Don't face the soldier. I don't know why you're facing the soldier. Like, there was, again, risk that you really didn't need to take. Yeah, just go and get your ult charge. I mean, if you had focused the Mercy earlier, then you would still have your ultimate. And you could have gotten more kills with it, other than just the Sombra. Okay, that's good. Kill the Mercy. Okay, kill the McCree first, yeah. Okay, that's good. In this situation, it's actually better to focus the McCree first. Because, for one, he couldn't get any healing by your Mercy anyways. And, he's like the bigger threat to your team. Yeah, you didn't really have to fly that close to her. You could have just stayed on the high ground. Would have been a lot safer. But then again, 40 seconds left, you have your ultimate. And you just defend at the push. The enemies probably have 2 pushes. If you stall it, then they have 1. So it's... If you get a single kill with your Pharah ultimate now, like just 1 kill, then you basically won already. Okay, yeah, your Hanzo basically did it for you. But it's good, then you have your ultimate for like a second kill. I mean, you don't really have to be on the high ground there. Like, you're just running the risk of dying. Like, those shots that you're shooting way too much with having your ultimate already. Just ult the payload, like there are 3 people on the payload. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's probably play of the game. I mean, to be honest, you're Zarya, I deserve the play of the game, but I am not going to argue. Ooh, Shadow 4K. The one and only. Sorin, how long have you been in this channel?
I just joined like 2 minutes ago, I guess.
Oh, okay. So you heard my amazing trash talk?
I mean,